Close your eyes.
Hello everyone, welcome to Willow and Roots. It's Michelle here and I have another reading for you. Today's reading, we're going to be looking into your next incarnation. This is a sneak peek into your next incarnation. Please keep in mind that we all have free will and this is not set in stone. Okay, so we have three options to choose from. This is option 1, this is option 2, and this is option 3. Now you can pause the video, choose a card, let's get to it. Hello option 1, for those of you who selected the first pile, here's your reading. So I have pre-pulled a few cards and I'm going to be pulling the tarot as the reading progresses. Okay, so the first card is going to represent the likelihood of this incarnation happening. Okay, so you have here card number 17, Outlook. Now this is telling me that it's not set in stone. It's actually you looking at, you the soul, and of course your guides or those who decide how the next incarnation is going to pan out. You're looking for the right fit, like the right experience that you would like to have in the incarnation, right? With the lookout card. Now we do have fire here. There is a person on a ship and they're looking out to see if there's any safety or any land ahead, because this ship looks like it's going to go down at some point. Now it's giving me that you're looking for excitement, adventure, right? With the fire, you're needing to have like obstacles to overcome, because with the lookout, this is giving me looking for solutions as well. So there are going to be a few obstacles or really tight situations that you may find yourself in, but you're going to overcome them, right? With the ship being here as well, it's giving me freedom, it's giving me travel, right? You may even be someone that lives on a boat or someone who does this for a living, like working on a boat, okay? Because you get to travel, you get to see the world. It is giving me an energy of being a lone wolf as well. So it's not showing me at this point that there's any attachment to others. There's a need to have freedom because you are searching for something. You're seeking something. Okay. But this particular card is showing me that there are going to be some rough patches, right? Or challenges, but you will overcome them. And also at this point, a final decision has not been made regarding the experiences that you're going to be having in your next incarnation. Okay, so what we received today, it's just like a little ideas, I guess, that's been bouncing around, or possible scenarios that's just been bouncing around regarding the experiences that you may be having. And I do feel that your current incarnation is a major factor as well as to what the experiences will be in the next, because it is giving me that if certain experiences or lessons has not been fulfilled, you may want to repeat them. Okay, so the next card is going to tell us the experience that you would like to have, and you received the ship, card number 8. And this is very interesting here. We have 17 reducing to 8, and we have the number 8 card here with the ship on it. So it really is tying in that it is a very personal life, like personal experiences in the next life. One where, again, you want to travel. You need your freedom in order to move around, right? Making decisions on a whim. So not wanting to have to consider others. That's what I'm picking up from this. But traveling, seeing the world, again, having new and wonderful and great experiences. This is beautiful. So the next two cards, this is the theme of that incarnation. So we have card number 11, Sri Yantra, We have card number 17, which reduces to 8, morning meeting. So what is interesting here is you have 17 reducing to 8, 17 reducing to 8, and 8. So 8 appearing 3 times. So this is very significant. And 8 is also a number of abundance. But for me, energy is moving from one end. So think of the infinity symbol. Energy is moving from one end to the other. So it's an even flow of energy. No blockages. So it feels like clearing up a lot of missed experiences or lessons from previous incarnations. Now with the Sri Yantra card, this is all about breaking away from chaos, moving away from chaos, needing that time for the self, being in meditation. So it's like feeling safe and feeling, again, comfortable in your own company, not wanting to be around too many people, because I am feeling that leads to chaos. Right? Obstacles, challenges. So there's a running energy as well. There's a running away from chaos or problems. It's also showing me, I'm hearing that song, Papa Was a Rolling Stone. It reminds me of the Knight of Wands, where you jump from experience to experience to experience, but you don't finish them. You don't complete one experience and move on to the next. We're talking about the actual experience of the incarnation. So it could be having many lovers, right? At many ports, many locations, or many children in those various locations, right? It's like that, but it's not taking responsibility for that. It's all about the thrill and the experience. Now, this is not a bad thing. This is actually the essence of someone living life to the fullest. Now, I'm not saying ignoring your responsibilities and having a ton of kids and tons of lovers and all that is good, but that's where morals come in. Like, what are your morals? It's questioning that. But I'm not going to judge. But this is all about having that full experience. Now, with the morning meeting, it's about communication style. How do you communicate with others? How do you express yourself? So the lesson here is learning how to face your problems and communicating with others on issues or things that you are not happy about. So if this is a situation regarding like having various women all over the place and then you just up and leave, it's letting them know where they stand with you, who you are, why you do the things that you do. It's not being silent and then just leaving and bye-bye for the rest of your life. It's not that, or until we meet again. This speaks on, again, clear and honest communication where everybody knows where they stand. And that is the theme of this incarnation. We do have here, when in periods of isolation, that's when you have that clear mind, being able to connect with yourself and your surroundings and receiving wisdom with the owl in the tree, wisdom from spirit. So you are going to have a consciousness or a connection to source, but are you going to be following the guidance given to kind of clear up a lot of this very detached energy, aloof energy? Lots of travel, though. Really, really exciting. Okay, let's get some tarot. With the 3 8s and the 11, 11 is all about the wisdom that we hold, we possess, we gain. So this is going to be a very big lifetime where you will learn the greatest lessons about yourself and, of course, those in your life. I just saw something. Ooh, we got the devil. We have the devil. That right there is giving me not wanting to feel bound by an experience or people. There is that very strong carnal desire I'm really picking up with this. There is only one person in this card as well, but there are two, but they're invisible in this one. I don't know if you can see it, but this is a couple embracing, but it's very transparent. So there is not one particular solid person that you are with. We do have here the rabbit, and that symbolizes abundance, fertility. So that could be children or a child with this particular person that you are not with, right? You think about, but you are not with. Or it could, again, it could represent many people because of that transparency. So there's not one set person. And the rabbit, there's various children. But there is that thought. So you do think about them with the owl, and wisdom that you gained regarding yourself and your situation and things that you want to correct, right there. So there is a strong need here, again, for freedom, not wanting to be bound by anything or anyone. So the devil card popping up for me is, it's also speaking on ambition. There is that drive to have the freedom to accomplish what you want to experience in life, no matter what. So there is a strong desire to do things that are right for you and only you, and screw everybody else. This is not a negative reading, by the way. I must say that any type of readings like this regarding incarnations, it's speaking about the experience and the lessons, okay? But there are carnal desires. Okay. We have the world. Oh, this is lovely. So by the end of that incarnation, this is going to be healed, right? You're going to actually have the full experience and learn the lessons that you're meant to learn, again, about yourself and others. There will be great soul growth here. Great soul growth. We do have here also with the world card, and if you see all these different people, that's the various incarnations where this particular experience has been had and probably not fully completed. This is telling me that this incarnation, it will be completed. So the next incarnation will be new lesson, new experience. Yeah, the soul then ascends and grows. That's nice. Okay, let's just get one more card for advice. Okay, we have here home, hive. This is that with home, hive, this is finding your place. I'm getting finding that peace within the self and a solid base. So in this incarnation, you need to be solid within the self. You have to be solid and stable with your inner home, and it will reflect out in your outer home. And you will accomplish that in this incarnation, where you're not going to be running anymore, seeking, searching, because you're going to realize all that you need, you already have. That's beautiful. So I'm going to end the reading right here. If this reading resonates, leave a comment down below. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, press the notification bell. I'm also offering personal readings. Information on that is in the description box below, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Hello, option 2. For those of you who selected the second pile, here's your reading. So I have pre-pulled a few cards, and I'm going to be pulling the tarot as the reading progresses. Okay, so the first card is going to represent whether this incarnation experience is going to happen or not. So you have card number 18 up in the air. So it is undecided. Right, so this particular experience in this incarnation is kind of up in the air. I am also feeling here you may want to take a time out from jumping into a new incarnation, right? So this could be you wanting to be a spirit guide for a bit, or being a part of that consciousness, the oneness, right? The source energy. So connecting back to source and being just an elemental, really. And then eventually you'll step back on the path to incarnating and having experiences and having that soul growth. Yeah, because the balloon here, it has like something covering it. Yes, I know that it is actually the ropes that are holding the base here, the basket together, but this feels very restricted. So it does feel like I don't exactly know if I am wanting to have another experience just yet. Right now, we do have here a lot of greenery, so green space, and then we have a couple here. So you may be in a relationship right now, or this is going to be something that is going to be a part of your next incarnation, right? A meaningful relationship. And again, it's for you and that person to decide if you want to incarnate together or not. So there are a lot of factors here to consider. With the flowers all here, it is very positive. It is telling me there is a lot of good experiences that you have had in previous incarnations, and it's like it really does feel like I have done everything that I was meant to do and had all the experiences that I signed up for. So now I'd like to take a break. And with 18 reducing to 9, it's almost like I'm thinking about this being the last one for a while, right? Very interesting. So the next card is going to be, if you choose to incarnate, what will be the experience? So we have here the rose, and the rose is all about stable relationships. Now you have 16 reducing to 7, right? So this is something that spirit wants you to experience in your next incarnation, or it could even be the green light for those of you who are in loving relationships to incarnate together again. Okay, a similar situation. So this is all about stable relationships, right? Union, happiness, joy, togetherness, having a really tight relationship. So that is popping up here with an aspect or an experience in your next incarnation. Now, if you are not in a meaningful relationship or a solid relationship, again, this is something that you may be open to experiencing in the next incarnation. A very stable, solid relationship, seeing what that feels like. Okay, so these two cards here will represent the theme of the incarnation. So we have here the Pentagon, card number 28, and card number 46, the lesson. So with the Pentagon, it's all about needing to protect yourself. It's like feeling or needing that security, needing to feel safe. So that is the theme. We're talking about the theme of the next incarnation. And with the lessons, it's that knowingness, right? That muscle memory, that cellular memory of an experience, maybe not from this current lifetime, but certainly from the previous, where there might have been some negative experiences, and it is calling for you to work through them. So the next incarnation, this is where you may be opting for experiencing a meaningful relationship that is going to help you to overcome some type of fear or block when it comes to fully trusting or fully surrendering in your connections, in your relationship. It's almost like clearing up, and it does not feel like this life. It feels like a past life, like 2 or 3 lifetimes before the current one that you're in watching this video. That's for those who are in a meaningful relationship. Now, if you are not in a relationship and you may have had negative experiences in this incarnation, this is what you're going to opt for experiencing to clear up in this incarnation. And clearing it up will be a meaningful connection. So there is a lot of trust here that is going to be required in order to make this relationship work. And we're looking at the balloon again with the netting around it, that restrictive netting. It is now opening up your heart and allowing yourself to soar, to let go and allow something to expand and to heighten. So the experience is going to be heightened as well when it comes to being vulnerable, not hiding. It's also given me another scenario here of independence and self sufficiency. And what I mean by that is not hiding behind your relationships. So, a perfect example would be you're in a wonderful relationship, but you can't do without the person. So there's a sense of having that independence and trust within yourself to be able to do things without the other. Okay, so you do have that togetherness and a very strong bond, but you also have to have that strong bond with the self, and it's realizing that. Okay, so there's several lessons here. Trusting in a meaningful relationship, but also trusting yourself with your own personal relationship with yourself. And it's figuring out and working through fears, hidden fears, or fears that don't exist either. There's a heavy focus on that. With the lesson as well, it could also be ancestral patterns, breaking those patterns. Nice. So this is interesting. So we have card number 46, reducing to 10. So we have 9 here and 10. So that's the new cycle, right? A change. So this is opting for something completely different because I've done this before. I've done everything before. I want something new. But there are a few things that you may be carrying over. These are feelings or, again, experiences that you want to close out in order to ascend or grow as a soul. And that is where you may probably include a bit of those experiences to face in this incarnation. We have 10, 28, reducing to 10, and 46 reducing to 10. So 10, 10, 7, and 9. This is showing me that there are 2 new options here as well. So this is just slightly changed from the previous reading now with the theme of the incarnation, right? And it looks like there's 2 paths now, looking at this with the 2 10s here. So it's showing me, because again, this is up in the air. One particular situation is where there are a little bit of challenges and obstacles when it comes to matters of the heart. So it could be having some really crappy relationships, right? Really, really crappy ones. And then one that is really good, one that is meaningful, one that where the person is genuine comes in, and it's for you to trust them, to be vulnerable and open to the experience. So that's one scenario here. And then the second scenario is about that independence. So you're in the meaningful connection, but this is actually building that trust with the self and having that independence. So it's not necessarily neglecting your relationship or being single and ready to mingle. It's not that. It's actually having that meaningful connection, but also having a relationship building and having a relationship with yourself. Trusting yourself. And I'm seeing an example where you went to IKEA and you bought a bookcase, right? And you need to assemble it. Now, these types of relationship where it's very stable and tight and all that, the feminine would ask the masculine to put everything together, right? So remember, with these box kits or sets, they have the instructions, so you can actually look at it and put it together. But the feminine would ask the masculine to do it, and the masculine would either do it immediately or whenever he has the time to do it. Now, let's say that the masculine has other things that he needs to do, so he's taking his time. The feminine might get a little bit frustrated. Oh, why aren't you doing it? I can't do it, and I need you to do it. This is saying, in this incarnation, you're going to learn how to put the box set together, how to put the bookcase together, or whatever needs to be done. You're going to step up to the plate and do it. But you're not neglecting your relationship, where there are things that your other half is going to do, but if they are unable to do it, you're going to know how to do it and then get it done. You see what I mean? So that's quite interesting. I think that's lovely. I really think that's lovely. That's how I like my relationships as well. You can't be sitting down there waiting for someone to do something that you know you can do. You can do it sometimes, but not all the time. Right. Let's get some tarot. Ace of Cups. Oh my God. Look at that. And you have the two swans here. Yes, they're not facing each other, but this is interesting. And then the person diving in. I'm hearing in this incarnation, this person here, I'm hearing passing each other in the wind. You have seen this person in this incarnation that you're going to be together with in the next. So that's for those of you who are not with that very stable, meaningful relationship. You know your person in this incarnation, or you have seen them. You've walked past them. This is quite interesting. With the person diving into, this looks like a pool of water. Again, this is all about vulnerability, accepting the blessing. Okay? Being open to receiving it. Very nice. Okay, let's get a final card. It really is speaking on spirit, offering you this opportunity to experience that great love. It's love intensified. This is a love that is beyond words. It only can be felt. But it's not cheap love as well. It's not love that it goes away after a year or two. This is endless love. This is ultimate love. Okay. Undying love. Okay. Too many. Thank you. Right. So you have here volcanic fire. So I'm not picking up like volatile situation, like violence. I'm not picking that up from the card. But what I am feeling is igniting that fire and that passion within. This is going to be an intense experience when it comes to love. So I'm hearing love intensified. Okay. So it is going to be a great challenge to resist it and not surrender to it, or to be vulnerable when you are in this experience. And it's going to be so intense, but in a good way. It is going to be a bit of a challenge for you to kind of have that independence, that personal independence, doing for yourself or doing things for yourself, because it is so good. Why spoil it? So that is the lesson. It's actually breaking away from codependency and being more independent. And the other scenario is being vulnerable in a meaningful connection, trusting. That is beautiful. So I'm going to end the reading right here. If this reading resonates, leave a comment down below. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, press the notification bell. I'm also offering personal readings. Information on that is in the description box below. And I'll see you next time. Bye. Hello, option 3. For those of you who selected the third pile, here's your reading. Now, I have pre-pulled a few cards, and the tarot, we're going to be pulling them as the reading progresses. So let's get on with this reading. Now, the first card is going to represent whether you're going to have this incarnation or not. So the experiences here, it all depends on if you're going to go along with it or not, your soul. So we have here the King of Forces. So this is like the King of Wands. It's really giving me an energy of, at this present time, this is the story. This is the plan for the experience. Okay, so we do have a lot of purple in the back. And there's an awareness of this, or even like wanting to experience this in the next life. Now, the King of Forces, it's like being at one with nature, but also this is speaking on life force energy. Okay, putting your all into something, bringing something to life, starting something off. It's like needing excitement as well, needing a life that's not boring or mundane, needing to have some degree of excitement, movement and being able to reflect. So with the life force energy as well and the nature aspect, this is actually being able to feel it, to be able to separate yourself from a situation and see it clearly, and be able to judge your actions or decisions based on, again, how you are feeling and how you are seeing the situation. This is a willingness to complete the experiences of the incarnation as well. With the King of Wands, it's like being balanced, having a balanced outlook, but also a willingness to succeed, to fulfill the mission. Now, the stag represents the power that you possess, the drive and the desire to manifest. It's like the tools, having the tools and the ability to complete the task. The wolf, that is that need to go inwards, like being able to isolate yourself from a situation and connect with yourself. The rabbit represents fertility and abundance, so full experiences and abundant experiences at that. It also represents maybe having many children. There is that lone wolf aspect as well. So it is giving me a need for full experiences where you might not stay in one place for a long time. This is giving me either having many children with one person or several relationships. I'm seeing like 3 different relationships and having children with each person. So it's not necessarily you being a playboy, but it is you being in a particular relationship for a certain time, having children, and then that ends and then you move on to the next. It's like short term. Now, the third relationship is the right relationship. There is a seeker vibe with this as well. And it ties in with the life force energy and creating life. That is quite interesting. There is pulling power and an attractiveness. You attract people to you. They feel safe, they feel secure, they feel that you are trustworthy, so they give themselves to you. But you are seeking more. Okay, let's see what's going on here. But it's right now, it is saying that there is a plan in place. Okay, so the next card represents the experience, and we have rope. Card number 23, and that's 23 reduces to 5, change. Rope represents the ties, the things that we bind ourselves to, the people we bind ourselves to. Okay, now these cards represent the theme of the incarnation. So we have here Golden Spiral, card number 23. And card number 26, Sacred Union. Okay. So the theme of your incarnation is one of finding meaning in connections. There's a seeker vibe here, a seeker energy. And it is like, I am seeking the one. I am seeking the total package. But on that quest, you are binding yourself to many others. And the binding, again, could be with tying yourself up with having many children with these people. So it's collecting responsibility along the way. There is a strong need for freedom with the wolf energy, but it's telling me that you're able to handle it with the stag. You have this power and this drive, and again, a trustworthy energy about you where you are able to handle your responsibilities, fulfill your responsibilities in a fair way, where there's no one that feels left out. It's showing me that when you love hard. Okay? When you love, you give everything. A person feels alive around you. And I'm hearing when you are in them. Right? It's just absolutely like you have this magnetism that is hypnotic. Okay? This is talking about the next incarnation. But there's a huge but. There may be an issue where there is going to be some type of entanglement with the wrong person or someone who does not know how to let go. Okay? It does feel like a situation where you finally meet that person with sacred union, but it's going to be difficult to be with them because of some of your commitments or the way others feel about you, and they don't want to lose that. They don't want to let go of it. So there's an unrequited love situation here. This is really interesting. It's questioning, what does a meaningful connection look like? What do I want from the perfect person, the person that I have in my head? What am I seeking? What am I chasing? What am I fighting for? What am I moving towards? That is the lesson. Why do I choose people to bind myself to that aren't the perfect package? The one that I have in my head. It's a question of, why do I settle? But I don't just have the experience and move. So another crude way to say it is like hit it and quit it. But why do I form full relationships, creating families with them? You do end up meeting someone that, again, it is a sacred union and it has meaning. The relationship has great significance. But there is a sense of not being able to fulfill it, to have it. Okay. It's not a bad reading, guys. It's not a bad reading. We have here 5 appearing twice, 23 and 23, 5, 5. So changes happening. And then with 26 reducing to 8, the infinity symbol, again, energy is moving from one point to the other. But this is actually being with someone that's on the same wavelength as yourself, the same frequency, and desiring it, desiring to take things further. But are you willing to make the change? We have here the 7 of Swords. Okay. Yeah, it's really it's giving me an energy of, and we have here, we have the chickens, right? The chicken in the pen, or the chickens in the pen, and then the fox is out here trying to figure out how it's going to get in and eat the chicken. The chickens represent having a system that works. So these represent those that you are caring for, your dependents. You have a system that works where everybody is okay. But something happens to upset the order, right? The system. So this could be that relationship. And the fox represents how, and of course you move towards it or you desire it, but you're not hiding that desire as well. But this creates that upset to your system, your order, the people in your life. They view it as something that is destructive, devious. And that's where it opens the door to actions where everyone gets the short end of the stick. This is telling me that there may even be secret affairs or being with this person in secret. Right. To not upset the others. Can I have another card, please? Yeah. We have here the 9 of Pentacles, 9 of Discs. With the 9 of Discs, having everything under control, having a system that works, everybody is all good. Life is good. But this particular action does shake everything up. And with this woman here doing divination, it is telling me that there is that awareness of it. So there's a knowing that this is something that can create drama, unnecessary drama. But the drama is because the people in your life that depend on you don't want to lose their stability. So that's the threat. It's the threat to their comforts, the threat of upsetting the system. And they're going to want to get rid of the threat, right? We do have the Five of Wands on the bottom. So it's something that is competing, challenging them. Oh, this is messy as hell. Five of Cups. So with the Five of Cups, again, it's giving me that longing energy. So I'm going to be with you in secret. I want to be with you completely. I don't want to upset this dynamic that I have in place, upset the people that I'm looking after. So we'll just keep it like this, where pretty much this person will be a side piece, even though they're the right person that you're meant to be with. So there'll always be that longing and that desire, and not realizing that you actually can move towards this person fully, but you're choosing to keep it under wraps. Why? This is interesting. We have the Ace of Wands on the bottom. So this is that new beginning. It's an epiphany. Like, I mean, really, I can actually move towards this. But let's see. Why is he finding it hard to move towards this? Priestess of Wands. Queen of Wands. We have the King of Wands and the Priestess of Wands, the Queen of Wands here. Can I have another one? It feels like, I mean, it is the right match, but is the Queen of Wands telling the King of Wands to not bother, to keep it that way? Death. Oh my God. Wow. Okay. So what this is saying is there is no long-term happily ever after with this particular union, because, well, someone is going to be taken out, and it does feel like the love of your life or the person that you're meant to be with. Now, for those of you who are watching this, if you are female, this is telling me that in your next incarnation you're going to be a male. You're going to choose to be a male. We're not the same sex for every incarnation, by the way. Okay, it alternates. Let's just see, because I really want to see if someone takes her out or if this person leaves. And that is the sadness, because it does show the person moves on and transitions, but is it like many years and they're with someone else, or is it really through the hands of another? We have the Hanged One. Okay, this is like really crazy, and I really did not want to say this, but I'm going to have to, because we received the Hanged One. This card here, the Rope card, signifies someone taking matters into their own hands as to if they continue with an incarnation or not. Now, with the Hanged One, and then we got the Rope, we can kind of see exactly what is being said here. This person here, your love, is going to take matters into their own hands as to whether they continue with the incarnation or not. So this could be, I guess I'll see you next lifetime, because you have not made a decision, and I desperately want to be with you, and you desperately want to be with me, and you're not doing anything about it. You're remaining in that situation that you don't want to be in. So your obligations are for someone else or for others, and not for me. So instead of moving on to someone else, which is what you should do, this person takes matters into their own hands. Okay, so let's get some advice, because, okay, I feel like pulling one more. So what's going to happen with the viewer? them in the King of Wands energy. What's going to happen to the viewer, please? We have here the Shaman of Discs. So the King of Pentacles. This looks like soul searching or vision quest. So there is a sense of you needing periods of isolation to gather your thoughts or to connect with yourself, connect with source. With the ego here, to see the bigger picture. It's like to get a greater understanding as to why this is happening, what is the purpose of it, or what was the purpose of it. But there's a lot of going off to gather your thoughts, and this is actually feeling like months, and then coming back to the family, and then going off, and then coming back. It's that type of energy, a wanderer energy. With it being a very barren setting, that's how you feel inside. It feels like trying to come to terms with, I am all that I have, because what I had and desired is no more. So it is coming to terms with that. It is accepting that. I'm hearing feeling alone in the world, but being okay with it, trying to understand it. Eventually you will, this is when your family, they've all grown up and all that, or families. You're going to be one of those people where you live in a very remote location and it's just you and nature or your surroundings, and that's it. It is not sad, it's actually peaceful. It's making peace with yourself and the situation, and that is or was the plan. Well, bottom of the deck, we have the Lovers, the choice, realizing that there was a great opportunity that you didn't capitalize on. It feels like the guilt would be so strong that you need to do this. I'm hearing until we meet again. I'm hearing until we meet again. So it's choosing to be that lone wolf after that experience. Right, let's get some guidance. Ooh. Okay, this one, I'm not going to take these. This one turned over and it says vigilance, danger. Spotting the signs before it happens. Not ignoring them. This feels like a regret that I didn't do or act, and that's why this happened. That's why I suffered this major loss. I should have seen the signs. I should have done. There's going to be a lot of that. But again, by doing the vision quest, it allows you to come to terms with it. This is beautiful. So I am going to end the reading right here, guys. This is such a powerful reading because there's so many factors to consider here. And one of the greatest things that we should take from this, and we all are experiencing it in this incarnation, and that is following our passions, our dreams, our desires, not being afraid to move to where our heart leads us. Okay, because if you ask any person who is elderly, like 100, you will be hearing that. That's one of the biggest regrets. I should have done things my way. I should have followed my heart and lived my life the way that I desired. But I made the decision to make others happy at my expense. Right, so I'm going to end the reading right here. If this reading resonates, leave a comment down below. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, press the notification bell. I'm also offering personal readings. Information on that is in the description box below. And I'll see you next time. Bye.